Put your hand up again. Put your hand up again. Put your hand up again. Put your hand up again.
You are a non-mother factor, bitch.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I know some people still feel that I have the same qualities, but I think that I've grown a lot and I've matured a lot, and I'm definitely not the Tami that entered into the Miami situation 8 years ago.
First of all, I don't have a problem with food stamps. The issue was, don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you know.
You know, if I have to go over my situation with Jennifer, I think her saying that she didn't know what a food stamp was, I just thought that was a lie. I feel like, you know, it took me 30 some odd years to actually have to seek public assistance myself. But in growing up, I knew people who were on food stamps. Like, you've gone your entire life and never met anybody who was in that particular situation. So I don't know, I just thought she was lying, and that's what, you know, caused me to be heated.
I might have been standing about 10 feet away and made my way as that argument got louder. Once it got almost physical, I remember just trying to hold Tami back. I ended up grabbing Tami's shoes that she had taken off. I'm carrying shoes and pushing Tami all at the same time.
You know, that particular time in my life, I was recovering from a hardship, and I was a completely different person.
You, my man, when I was married to him, you just say that.
I didn't know you was married to him.
It's not a mother on this planet that didn't know that Kenny Anderson was married.
I didn't.
I really thought that Evelyn and I were cool. So that was our final night of taping. A lot of people don't know that. We had just come back from our cast trip. And I was sitting out enjoying my cigarette. She came out to me, and in my mind, I thought she was gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I really don't vibe you, I don't like you. And then she said she slept with Kenny. People think that I was upset with Evelyn for sleeping with Kenny. That is totally, like 100% opposite of what that moment was. I felt like Evelyn and I had been around each other for 6 months of taping. We had shared a lot of moments, a lot of private situations, and I felt like there were plenty of opportunities for her to tell me that she had been involved with Kenny. And so I was upset with that. I felt like, you could have told me this a long time ago. People think I was mad at her for sleeping with Kenny, and I was like, find the bitch that didn't sleep with Kenny. That's the person who's gonna impress me. So it wasn't about her, you know, being sexually involved with Kenny. It was really more about, I felt that we had a camaraderie and a friendship, and I felt like in that situation, she could have told me earlier on.
When it got real fast, I was sitting right in the middle of them.
After our argument, Evelyn and I had a mutual understanding of who the other person was. I wouldn't necessarily call it a friendship, but I feel like we had a mutual respect and understanding for each other.
I need to hear you.
Anyway,
Why you talking to me,
saying-
bitch? They don't matter.
I said y'all are hypocrites because you said
I'm
something
not
about
no
that.
hypocrite.
Yes, it is. You
I'm
said
not no hypocrite. I call them the popular bitches.
No, you
and I
said
said,
they
do you
fake.
want to be on the
You
popular
said no,
side
you
or
said
do you
fake.
want to be on the
said fake.
I said the popular
said
people.
fake. No, you said
Bitch, get out of here.
I have to tell you honestly, with Mika, I don't know what the argument was about. I was so drunk that night, and I just felt like when she said popular versus real, it just pissed me off and sent me to the moon, and I didn't know how to come back other than popping her in the face. And so that's the escape route that I took. But I do feel sorry for that moment. In all of the instances on Basketball Wives, I have to honestly say that's the one time that I was like, you know what, that wasn't right. You know, Mika and I have had our misunderstandings, our disagreements, but that wasn't the course of action that should have been taken.
I remember sitting, it was Mika, Tami, I want to say Susie, then myself. So, yeah, I'm just a couple feet away from that one too.
And I've since apologized to her, and she has accepted my apology, and we're actually cool now. So I'm thankful that, you know, she saw beyond that moment.
In case you don't know, you done f***ed up. Because you don't want to with me. You don't want me on your damn bad side.
I don't want to fight with you.
I know you don't. That's why the you should have said nothing. Any bitch that don't want to get it popping should keep their mouth closed. That's rule number 1. Scary bitch 101.
Let me just say this. I did not take Keisha's purse in Tahiti. I was helping Keisha. Keisha and I got into an argument and she hit the ground running. And everybody packed up and was leaving the location, and I looked back and saw her purse and said, oh my God, she left her purse. Let me get her purse for her. Now, the only thing I wanted her to do was be a stand-up woman and ask for her purse back. If she had just done that, that whole moment in Tahiti would never have existed.
We were sitting in some like hut bar type situation, having tequila shots, which I will never give Tami again in my life. And that one was kind of, we saw it happening. We didn't know what was going to happen, but literally Tami's eyes just started turning red and she just turned into somebody else. That was definitely Evelyn and I were, you know, getting her full and probably shouldn't have. And it turned out to be a shit show.
I felt like she was talking a lot behind the scenes, saying a lot of things to the other ladies that she could not say directly to my face. And I wanted her for one time to just stand up and be 100. And she wasn't able to do that. And it turned into what became, you know, people thinking that I'm a bully, and I'm totally not that person. Let me just say, I really don't like taking the cast trips because I know that it's always gonna be something. And I felt like in the United States of America this season, I told everybody, I don't wanna be around Duffy. So now you're basically forcing me to go to Portugal and be around somebody that I know is going to, you know, affect me greatly and end up being in a detrimental situation for me.
I was sitting at a table and Duffy was kind of popping off at the mouth. Tami walked away, which I was so very proud of her at that moment. And she starts walking back. I'm thinking Tami is gonna sit down, and she keeps going around the table, and all I could think was like trying to push my chair back and get in her way, which, what gets in Tami's way? And you know, all hell broke loose. I tried to grab Tami's braids and snatch her back. That didn't quite work.
I feel that there's nothing about LaTosha Duffy that I actually like. Having, you know, from the situation in Portugal on to this present day. I don't respect her. I do not like her. I don't choose to be around her.
Let's just be clear that there's not any time of the day within any year that if we squared up, that you would beat my ass.